If I find out whoever wrote this manual, I'm going to put a contract on you.
You having some trouble?
Really, listen to this. Insert screw J into slot C.
Yeah, that sounds straightforward enough.
Yeah, but all the screws look the same and there's no label to the slots.
Yeah, well, I can understand that would be a problem. You see, I don't have any problem like that. All I do is put brush A into can B.
All right, well, thanks for the help.
Just think of how much fun you're going to have when you put Matthew's first tricycle together.
That, too. Should be a challenge.
Yeah, it should be. I'll look forward to it. Oops.
Got an idea. Why don't you put brush A down and give me a kiss on lips B?
Think we can handle that without any instructions?
I don't know. We can try.
Okay, we're going to try. Oops.
I think we need a little, remember? Maybe?
I'm sorry.
No problem.
Don't wait a minute. Don't back up. You're going to get it all over the place. Oh,
Every
please.
step of the way.
Wait a minute. Where are you going? You're going to get paint everywhere.
I think I'm going to go up and change now.
Okay, I got a real cute little flower pattern blouse you can get into.
I've got my own, thank you.
I'm sorry. Oh. Oh. Ugh. Yuck. We're not open yet.
Oh, are you Mrs. Rachel Cory?
Yeah, I am. Is there anything I can do for you?
Yes, I'm Mrs. Raleigh from the Social Welfare Department. I've come to check on the living accommodations.
Do you want to finish this?
What's the matter? Aren't you hungry?
No, honey, I'm so worried about testifying today. I don't feel like eating anything.
Now, come on, baby. You don't have anything to worry about.
Well, I'm afraid I might say something that would hurt Blaine.
I don't think you could do that.
Well, but not on purpose. Look what Zachary Colton did to you. He twisted around everything you said.
Look, I know, but today you're going to be testifying for the defense. And you can only ask you questions that Brian's already asked you.
Well, I know. I mean, Brian explained all that to me, honey, but I'm still worried about what they might make me say.
Baby, you know what Brian said. He said that he was only going to ask you questions that would help you explain to the jury what a good person Blaine was. That you just got trapped in a bad situation.
Sure is going to be nice to get out of here and start living again.
Yeah, I just wish I was going to the apartment. I could take you there.
All I want to do is go home and get back to work as soon as I can.
Oh.
What is this? Can you tell I haven't done this in a long time? Look out. Well, are you all set and ready to go home?
Yeah, well, I can see I'm outnumbered. And with that stubborn Holloway streak you both have, I know I'm not going to win this argument.
Wait a minute. What argument?
Well, Marianne thinks we're going too far to take her home and pamper her, you see.
Oh, no nonsense. The best part about working here is getting to see people go home, and I get to take you home personally.
Listen, I can walk you downstairs.
No, you get back to work.
Oh, come
on. One Holloway helper is enough.
All right.
Well, thanks for the ride.
I'll see you.
Okay, bye-bye. Hey, you all right? Yeah, I'm fine.
And now, the continuing story of Another World.
You see, the beauty of having the apartment and the gallery connected is that I'm never more than a few feet away from the children.
I see. Well, how many bedrooms are there in this apartment?
Three bedrooms. There's one for Matthew and one for Amanda, and then I have my bedroom.
Well, it certainly must be difficult trying to run a business and raise small children.
No, I don't think it's impossible at all. You see, the beauty of it is with my job, I can be right with the children all the time. Oh, Mrs. Raleigh, this is Mitch Blake, my business partner.
Oh.
Miss Raleigh, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Mr. Blake?
Mr. Blake is also the father of Matthew.
Oh, I see. And he lives here with you and the baby?
No, he doesn't live here.
Oh, no, we were working downstairs in the garage. There was an accident with some paint, so I was just up here cleaning up, that's all.
Well, what do you do for a living, Mr. Blake?
Most recently, I've been working at the Connection.
Tell me, Mr. Blake, do you like children?
I enjoy the time I spend with Matthew very much, yes.
Well, yes, of course, he's your son, but how would you feel about Amanda if she were to be living here?
I would love her as though she were my own.
How can you be sure of that?
Because she's the daughter of the woman I love.
Hello, dear.
Dad, hi.
I just stopped by to see how and where Marianne is.
Well, you just missed her. Kid just took her back to the apartment.
Oh, I'm sorry. How is she?
Well, naturally, she's disappointed about losing the baby, but physically, she's doing just fine.
Oh, that's good. I'm sure she'll recover completely in time.
I hope so. I know how much she and Rick wanted this child.
Yes. The loss of a child is a tragic thing.
Tell me about it. It's happened to me twice.
Alice, what a terrible thing to say. You're not losing Sally in any sense of the word.
I'm sorry. You know, I was thinking about stopping in to see her a little later. I tried to call earlier, but, they don't have a phone yet.
Alice, take my advice. Let her gain this experience. She's going to make a lot of mistakes, but it'll be good for her. It'll help her to grow. So, don't go see her, please.
Well, she is still my daughter.
I know, and you're still my daughter. How would you like it if I went around checking up on you all the time?
Well, I'm not checking up on her, Dad. I'm just concerned about her. You can't stop me from feeling that way.
Well, of course, you have a perfect right to be concerned, but just give it a little time. Just stay away for a while. Just stay away from her.
I suppose you're right.
I know I am.
I really do miss her, though.
And I'm sure she misses you too, dear. But just give it enough time for her to realize it.
Sandy, you know that every single time somebody tries to help me, they end up getting hurt. Now, I don't want you to take that chance. Not this time.
So what are you going to do? Are you, just going to let them put you away for murder when they should be rewarding you for doing a public service?
I don't know what I'm going to do. It's really not in my hands anymore anyway, is it? I do know that I'm not going to let you get yourself killed just for me.
Hey, look, Blaine, it's my life. I mean, I think I know pretty well what I'm doing with it.
Sandy, I'm afraid for both of us. And I don't see any reason both of us should suffer, just if it's not necessary.
Look, we're all in this together. Not just you and me, Blaine, but a lot of people. And Blaine, we all really care about you.
Okay. But just let me go it alone, will you? Sandy, I am afraid. But I'll be able to take it a lot easier if I don't drag you down with me.
Now, wait a second. I've got a stake in this thing, too, you know? I mean, I've got a little mess to clean up in Vegas.
You're not going to use that book you stole from Ilsa, are you?
I will if I have to.
Sandy, no, you can't. You're going to cause yourself more trouble than anybody can handle. If the company finds out that you do that...
Look, I know. I know, all right. But if it's going to help your case, I'm going to use it.
Did you really do that for me?
Yeah. It's not that I want to so much. I mean, I know a lot of people are gonna... A lot of bad things will happen if I do.
I know. I don't want you to use it. I don't want you to take the chance.
And life's full of chances. And you know, sometimes even a few of them pay off. Look, people will get hurt if I produce that book, but who knows? Maybe that would happen anyway. So if it's necessary, I'm going to use it.
Maybe it won't be necessary. There's always that chance.
Yeah, maybe.
Thank you, Sandy.
Okay. There's your tea.
What is this, an airline? Now, the only thing you don't have for me is a seatbelt. Look, I'm fine. Would you just sit down? You're driving me crazy. Okay.
Marianne, did you get a chance to talk to Rick? Yeah. Rick and I had a long talk, and everything's fine. We got the whole situation out in the open and under control.
Really? Marianne, I'm so glad. That's just terrific. Oh, I'll get it. Now, don't you move.
I won't.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Kit.
Jamie, come on in.
Hi, I thought these might make you feel better.
Thank you. You're beautiful.
I hope you don't mind waiting here by yourself. Clarice should be back from the courthouse pretty soon. But I gotta get back to work. Use every penny I can get my hands on.
Well, don't tell me Clarice is starting to charge you rent now.
Denny, you're bound to find out about this sooner or later, so I might as well tell you. I moved out of here. I got an apartment of my own.
Well, that does change things, I guess. How do you make ends meet?
I manage.
Well, yeah, but how?
I said I manage.
Well, maybe you should get a roommate.
I already have one. You even know her. Sally Frame.
Yeah, I remember her.
Yeah. You even told me what a good influence she was.
That didn't mean you had to move in with her. I suppose you two are going to get married now?
Yeah.
Well, just think it over good before you do anything foolish. I mean, I got married too young, and you saw the problems that Suzanne and I had.
Yeah, well, at least you made your own mistakes. You didn't have anyone telling you what to do all the time.
You think that's what I'm doing now?
Yeah. And you did it in the past.
Look, we've been through this enough already. I told you I knew I was overly protective, but I'm trying to change all that now. I really am, Leigh.
It doesn't seem like it.
Okay, I'll stop. I shouldn't have asked you these questions.
I'm getting used to them.
Look, let's just start over again, all right? Maybe we can get off on the right foot this time.
Now, Dr. Delaney, I understand that you were the doctor on duty when Blaine Ewing was brought into the hospital.
That's correct.
Now, could you briefly describe the situation for the court?
Of course. Miss Ewing was brought in by her friend, Melissa Needham, and she had sustained several facial cuts and contusions, and she had 2 cracked ribs.
Now, did Miss Ewing explain how she incurred these injuries?
Yes, she said she'd fallen down some stairs.
Well, such injuries the likely result of such a fall?
It's possible, but I don't think it was the case.
Oh, I see. Then what do you suspect was the reasons for the injuries?
Well, in my opinion, Miss Ewing had been beaten.
Objection. This calls for a conclusion from the witness.
A conclusion from an expert witness, Mr. Colton.
Objection overruled. Please continue, Mr. Bancroft.
Then why do you think she told you she fell?
Oh, I'm afraid that's always the case in situations like this. The victim is afraid of being beaten again, so often they won't even seek medical help. And if they do, they usually have an excuse to explain whatever's happened to them.
Mm-hmm. So, in your opinion, as a doctor, Blaine Ewing was the victim of physical abuse and not an accident.
That's right.
I have no further questions from this witness, Your Honor.
Mr. Colden?
Dr. Delaney, it must be difficult for you to be put in a position like this.
I don't understand.
Well, what I mean is it must be difficult when a patient doesn't even tell the truth to her own physician. I have no more questions.
So, are you sure you're all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. But if it hadn't been for you, who knows what might have happened. I mean, I could have passed out and nobody would have found me for hours.
Jamie, I'm very glad that you were there for Marianne.
So am I. Well, I guess I'd better be going. I just wanted to make sure that you were in good hands.
Jimmy, you know you really didn't have to come by, but I'm really glad you did. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you for your help, Jamie.
Jamie, are you sure everything's all right with you? You look a little upset.
No, upset? Well, I'm a little nervous. I have to testify at Blaine's trial today. Brian wants me to testify about Ken Steele. He worked for me at the Dock Project. Seems that he was hired by Jordan Scott to find Jerry, Blaine, and Sandy.
Where is he now?
He's dead. Yeah, they found his body right after Jordan was killed.
Well, listen, I hope everything goes all right for you today at the trial.
Oh, thank you. I just hope that Brian has enough evidence to...
Well, that was awful timing.
I hope I didn't cause any problems.
It wasn't your fault. How do you think it went?
I don't know. What did she say before I made my entrance?
Well, she asked me all sorts of questions about how I thought I could run a business and take care of the children at the same time. Things like that.
Well, if you told her the truth, then you haven't created any problems.
Yeah, but suppose the truth isn't good enough.
Well, nobody's going to love a child any more than you are.
She also didn't seem very pleased with the long hours you keep.
Well, I can't worry about that. We need the money. She's got no right to disapprove of that.
I just don't want to lose Amanda.
And do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name and occupation.
I'm Clarice Ewing, and I work at the Hair Affair Beauty Salon.
You may be seated.
Mrs. Ewing, would you please describe your relationship to the defendant?
Blaine's my sister-in-law. She's the sister of my husband, Larry.
And is your relationship with Miss Ewing close?
Yes. She's one of my best friends.
Now, did you approve of her getting involved with Jordan Scott?
No, I didn't like the idea at all. But I could understand why she did it.
Oh, objection. Mrs. Ewing's approval is hardly relevant, Your Honor.
But it is relevant, Your Honor. Now, it is very important for the jury to fully understand what the defendant, the situation she was in. And I think that Mrs. Ewing can help describe that situation.
Objection overruled. Please proceed, Mr. Bancroft.
Now, could you explain what you meant by saying that you understood why Miss Ewing became involved with Jordan Scott?
Well, Blaine was married to Jerry Grove when Jordan became interested in her. She was afraid that if she didn't go along with what Jordan wanted, he might do something to hurt Jerry. So she left Jerry for Jordan.
Did she love Jordan?
No. She loved Jerry.
So, Blaine Ewing left Jerry Grove in order to protect him from Jordan Scott.
Yeah, that's right. She loved Jerry. She didn't want something to happen to him because of her.
So, Blaine Ewing sacrificed herself because of her love for her husband.
Yes.
Now, in your opinion, do you think that Blaine Ewing could ever kill anyone in cold blood?
No, absolutely not.
Thank you, Mrs. Ewing. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Colden.
Yes, Mrs. Ewing. Now, don't you think, tell me honestly, that your opinion of the defendant being such a good woman is colored just a little bit by the fact that she is your sister-in-law?
No. I mean, she is a good woman. She really is.
Yeah, all right, thank you. I have no question.
How are you?
I'm fine. Kid's been a real angel of mercy. Did Jamie just drop by for a visit?
Jamie, how you doing?
Fine. Yourself?
Oh, I'm fine. Just a little confusion over trying to figure out the Jordan Scott photographs.
Oh, yeah. Any luck with finding out what was in that vial?
No, I still can't figure out what the medication was.
Hey, Rick, you look a little tired. Can I offer you a cup of tea?
No, I think I'll just rest.
Well, I guess I'd better be going. Oh, by the way, you're all invited to our place tomorrow night around 8 for a little get-together.
I don't know.
Well, you know, I'd like to go. It'll give me a chance to prove to everybody I'm all right.
If you think you're up to it, fine.
Good. And Kit?
Yeah?
Includes you, too.
Thank you. I'll see.
Okay. Well, I'll see you all tomorrow night. Take care.
Jamie. Wait a minute. Look, I want to thank you for what you did. And I want to say I'm sorry. I came out a little strong at the hospital.
No apologies necessary. I'm just glad I was there to help.
I am too.
Good.
Mr. Cory left a folder on his desk, Mrs. Frame. I'll get it for you.
Oh, that's all right, Louise. You go tend to Amanda of whatever it was you were doing. I'll get the folder myself.
As you wish. I'll be upstairs if you need me, Mrs. Frame.
Thank you. Sandy, darling, would you prepare the drinks? Your father will be here shortly.
Of course, darling. Will you be having your usual?
Yes, I will. Thank you so much.
Mr. and Mrs. Cory. Mr. Cory is here.
Thank you, Louise. Oh, Matt, it's so nice of you to visit.
Thank you.
And how nice it is to be in the old house again. And to know how happy my son and his wife are living here.
And how's the new house, Dad?
It's fine, son. Just fine. I would like to propose a toast to my son Sandy and his lovely bride Cecile, and to the baby they will soon be having together.
Cecile, how are you?
Oh, Sandy, I wasn't expecting you.
Now, Mr. Decker, do you keep any sort of log of the after-hours visitors to the complex?
Yes, sir. Anyone who comes in after 6 o'clock has to sign in.
Could you tell us who was in the building on the night of the explosions?
You mean besides the cleaning crew and my staff of security men?
Yes.
Well, James Frame was working late in the executive suite, and a man named Greg Varney was there.
Greg Varney? Who was that?
Well, he told me he was with the air conditioning repair company. He had a uniform and everything, but later I found out that he didn't work for them.
Well, didn't you think it was strange that a repairman would come in after hours?
Well, he explained to me how the trouble hadn't been reported until just about closing time, so he had come late so he could fix the problem before the next day.
I see. Now, Mr. Decker, could you identify this picture for us, please?
Yes, that's the man who told me he was with the air conditioning repair company.
Thank you. Let the record show that Mr. Decker has identified a photograph of Ken Steele. No further questions.
Mr. Golden.
Yes, Mr. Decker. Now, tell me, is there a sign-in procedure policy at the complex during the day?
Yes, sir. Not for the staff, but all visitors are required to sign in.
I see. Now, tell me honestly, in your opinion, do you think it would be possible for someone to gain access to the buildings without signing in?
Well, yeah, I work the night shift, so I don't really know for sure.
Yes, but what do you think, Mr. Decker?
Well, yes, I suppose it is possible.
Right. Thank you. Now, tell me, did anyone see Mr. Varney or Mr. Steele plant the bomb which caused this explosion?
No, sir. No one saw anyone who planted the bombs.
I see. Therefore, it is possible that anyone could have actually planted the bomb.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. I have no more questions, John.
Are you alone?
Yes. I just came by to pick up a folder that Mac had left for me. Sandy, this is a good opportunity for me to apologize for Jamie's behavior lately.
Never mind, Cecile. It's okay.
No, it isn't okay. I don't know what's gotten into him lately. You know, he really didn't make that phone call to tell me that he'd be late, though he is insisting he did.
Look, Cecile, it's okay.
Sandy, I'm really worried about him. Did you know that Marianne Holloway lost her baby?
Yeah, I heard.
Well, the truth is, and I wouldn't want you to tell this to anyone, it wasn't Rick's baby. It was Jamie's. Yes. And he's really taking the miscarriage very badly. It's upsetting him more than he'll admit.
Wait a second, Cecile. Are you trying to tell me that Jamie and Marianne... Are you sure?
Oh, yes, Sandy, I am. I mean, Jamie's practically admitted it.
I don't believe this, really.
Well, it's true. I've had to carry this secret with me for a long time. At first, it was really hard to take. But I have finally grown to accept it. I mean, it did happen before Jamie and I were married, but still...
Does Rick know about this?
I don't know if Marianne's told Rick or not. But he's had to notice how much time Jamie was spending with Marianne, and it was Jamie who was with Marianne when she had the miscarriage.
Maybe I should talk to Jamie about all this.
No. Sandy, don't do that. Jamie must never know that I told you that. Please don't mention it to him, Sandy. Promise me.
Aunt Liz? Oh, Alice, dear. How you doing?
I'm just fine. How are you?
Oh, I'm okay.
I had a feeling we'd be seeing you over here.
What makes you say that?
Jim. Jim told me he thought you'd be checking up on Sally.
Well, that's not what I'm doing here.
Are you sure?
Yes, but I wouldn't mind if you told me how she was doing.
Well, great. Really great. We're all so proud of her work.
I'm really glad.
Do you want to say hello to her? She's in Cecile's office.
No. I want to, but I won't.
Good. Stout heart.
Soft head.
Well, if that's not the reason for your visit to the complex, what is?
Well, I thought I'd see Mac.
He's at a meeting right now.
Oh. Well, okay. Maybe I'll just wait. Maybe the meeting will get over early.
Of course, dear. You've been seeing a lot of Mac lately, haven't you?
Yes. You know, he's really been very nice to me, Liz.
Alice, I don't think you should get too close to Mac right now.
Now, Mr. Frame, in the course of your work at the dock site, did you know a man named Ken Steele?
Yes, he was employed as a foreman at the dock site.
Was he employed at the time of the accidents that occurred at the dock?
Yes, and he was the same man the security guard saw the night of the bombings.
Did you see him at any time after the bombings?
No, I didn't.
Do you think that Mr. Steele was responsible for any of the problems that happened at the complex?
Well, I think he had a lot to do with the accidents at the dock site, as well as planning the bombs at the complex, yes.
Now, was there some reason for someone to want to cause all these problems?
Yes. The accidents eventually caused Cory Publishing to sell the dock site to the Oregon Shipping Company, a company we later found out was owned by Mr. Jess Cooper.
Oh, the same Jess Cooper who was Jordan Scott's boss?
Yes, the same.
Thank you. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Golden. Yes, Mr. Frame. Mr. Frame, you were solely responsible for the dock site projects at the time you just described?
Yes.
Right, now, can you tell me, at any time while you were in charge, were you acting under the influence of chemical substances, drugs?
Objection, Your Honor. This should have no bearing on the case.
It has every bearing on Mr. Frame's perception of the events, Your Honor.
You may proceed with caution, Mr. Calden.
Mr. Frame, please answer the question.
Yes.
Yes, you were, for some of the time in question, under the influence of drugs.
Yes.
Then is it not possible, if you were, shall we say, not yourself, Mr. Frame, that it was your own irresponsible behavior that was causing these problems at the dock site?
I know that Ken Steele was behind all the sabotage at the dock site.
Sabotage? I believe the official police report has it down as accidents.
Yes, well, I know better.
Oh, yes, of course. You know better. In your cloudy, drug-induced haze, you can now point the finger at some poor foreman and blame him instead of yourself, in order to cover for yourself and not look so irresponsible in front of other people, especially your employer, Mr. McCory.
Your Honor, I object to this outburst by the district attorney.
I have no more questions.
Well, I would like to redirect. Please.
Please proceed, Mr. Bancroft.
Mr. Frame, when did Ken Steele leave your employ at the dockside?
When I fired him.
And when did this occur in relation to the events, the complex?
It was after the series of sabotage.
And
accidents at the dockside.
And in the relation to the explosion?
The explosion occurred shortly after Mr. Steele was fired.
And these are the explosions in which you were nearly killed. Is that not correct?
Yes.
Thank you, Jamie. That'll be all.
I had a fabulous day today, all late. Cecile was gone for most of the day, so I had to do some of her work for her. It felt so good. I handled everything, and they trusted me. Can you believe it?
You get paid extra for that?
Of course not. It's the experience that counts, that's all.
That's great.
What's the matter with you?
Well, Denny came into town today, and he jumped on my case about everything.
Yeah, well, did you tell him that you don't like it when he does that?
Yeah, I told him.
Well, what did he say?
He said he'd lay off, but he always says that.
You know, I think he's really trying to get along with you. Why don't you give him a chance, okay?
Just puts me in a rotten mood.
Yeah, well, you just stay away from me because I've had too good of a day for you to spoil.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Sally. Hey, look.
What?
What do you think about the two of us getting married?
And so that wasn't enough. Mrs. Raleigh didn't like the fact that Mitch worked such long hours between the gallery and the connection.
Why not?
I don't know. She didn't say. It was just an attitude.
Did she say anything else?
Not really.
Why are you still so gloomy?
Well, you really think it is going to make a difference? I mean, Mac's big house and all that money and everything?
Well, it shouldn't. But I'm beginning to wonder if it does make a difference to you.
What do you mean, make a difference to me?
Well, all a child needs, really, is food, clothing, and shelter. Plus a lot of love and attention.
Yeah, but Mitch and I can give them both all of that.
I know that. But you're the one that I'm worried about.
Well, why are you worried about me?
Because you need more than that. I think you're just beginning to see how much you gave up when you left Mac.
Jamie, we both know that isn't so. I think it was very wise of Brian to say what he did. He's a smart lawyer. He kept what might have been a damaging outburst from causing too much harm.
Mac, Jamie, I'm surprised to see you here.
Well, I wanted him to come back with me for a minute after the day in court.
Oh. Well, you both just missed Cecile.
Cecile?
Yeah, she came by to pick up a folder she said that you'd left for her, Mr. Cory.
Oh. Well, I guess I'll call her later.
Well, I'm going up to see Amanda. Okay?
Okay.
Spend the night here if you want.
No, that's okay. Thanks for your help, Mac.
See you.
Yeah. So, pretty tough day on the stand today, huh?
Yeah. Colton tried to discredit my testimony by bringing up my drug problem.
Well, somehow that doesn't surprise me much.
Yeah, but he made me look like a drug-crazed kid. You know, who tried to cover up his failures by finding a scapegoat.
Who?
Ken Steele.
Oh, that's crazy. Well, nobody's going to buy that theory anyway.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm glad Mac was there. I don't know, somehow he always seems to be there. I mean, not just when I was younger, when I'd come home from swim meets and school plays, but even now. Especially now. I don't know, it was his unconditional love that really made it possible for me to break that drug habit.
Yeah. And Cecile?
Yeah, her too.
You know, you're lucky. My stepfather was no Mac Cory. He was a drunk with 2 ready fists. I got out of there as soon as I could, believe me.
Yep, I guess I've been pretty lucky.
Maybe more than you know. So, sounds like it was really tough on the stand today. Colt, listen, if you'd known that something unpleasant like that was going to happen, would you have told Mac about it ahead of time?
What are you talking about? Mac knew about my drug problem.
Yeah, I know, but what if it was something else, something that he didn't know about?
I don't know.
Well, think about it a little.
Why? Oh, you're really worried about tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, from what you said about Colton,
You think he's going to try it on you, too?
Yeah. I mean, my past isn't exactly pleasant.
Does he know anything about it?
Who knows? I mean, I'm just afraid I may end up saying something that could hurt you or Mr. Cory. And I really don't want that to happen. I mean, both you guys have sort of become special to me, you know?
You're really talking about Mac, aren't you?
Look, Jamie. He's been so supportive of me. I just don't want to do anything that would hurt him. I mean, if I did, I don't think I could, you know.
Then talk to him.
You really think I should?
Oh, well, of course you should. I mean, if there's one thing I know about Mac, he listens, he understands. Really, Sandy, talk to him.
I guess maybe I'm going to have to do exactly that, huh?
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Another World.